I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Andy Nelson.
Welcome to The Next Reel. When the movie ends,
our conversation begins.
The player is over. I like words and letters, but I'm not crazy about complete sentences.
From director Robert Altman comes a story of Hollywood.
I got a writer in here who's got a pitch I think you ought to hear. I think it's hot.
We open outside San Quentin.
The Graduate, Part 2. And Mrs. Robinson had a stroke, so she can't talk.
It's going to be funny?
Yeah, it'll be funny.
Griffin Mill is a hotshot studio executive.
Yes. Angelica, Griffin Mill.
Oh, hi.
Good to see you. Malcolm McDowell.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Berg. Good to see you. How you doing?
He's heard every pitch.
That's exactly right. It's Out of Africa meets Pretty Woman.
He knows all the angles.
We're going to have a little sex in this mystery.
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. We'll get it.
Slowly pushes her panties down to her knees.
And all the players.
We're the stars.
No stars.
No stars?
Bruce Willis.
I want Bruce Willis. Not Bruce Willis. No Schwarzenegger.
Julia Roberts.
Now, he's about to star.
How did this get here?
They're coming from a writer.
Hello, is David Kahane there, please? This is Griffin Mill.
Who's a dead man?
In his most unforgettable story yet.
Stop all the postcards. I don't write postcards! I write! This is a tough story. A tragedy.
Not unlike Ghost meets Manchurian Candidate.
The trouble is,
Something you have to know. If you went to Pasadena with intent to kill, you could go to the gas chamber.
it's not a movie.
I'd like you to come down to the station.
I would hate to get the wrong person arrested.
Oh, please. This is Pasadena. We do not arrest the wrong person. That's L.A.
It's his life.
Are you seeing someone else? Oh, you took her to a party, Griffin, with several hundred of my best friends.
Do places like this really exist?
Only in movies.
Robert Altman's The Player.
Can we talk about something other than Hollywood for a change?
Yes.
We're educated people.
This movie, for being so dry, has some good humor in it.
There is some humor in Altman films that I do enjoy. Altman has always been one of those directors that I don't always click with, but I do feel, and because I don't know, thinking of like the films that he did in the 70s, I don't remember a lot of humor in them specifically. I'm trying to remember, MASH. Well, MASH was a funny one. Less for me, but more for, people like my dad. The Long Goodbye had humor. Nashville, I don't remember Nashville being as funny as it was just kind of interesting, entertaining musical.
For sure.
Three Women definitely wasn't a funny one. I'm skipping all the ones I haven't seen because I am very light on Altman's filmography. Popeye, I don't know, comic booky, I guess. Jeez, I've seen not a lot of his films. Vincent and Theo that he did right before this wasn't funny. Shortcuts, I think he had a little more humor in, and I think this was the point where he started shifting into a little more satire of, satirizing Hollywood and LA, and then the fashion industry with Ready to Wear, and then Cookie's Fortune was kind of his little, I liked it. I just can't remember. Somebody dies and I can't remember what happens, but I don't think it was much of a satire. Gosford Park, I think, was a little kind of upstairs, downstairs sort of satire. And so I don't remember a lot of humor in his earlier films, but this one definitely seemed to shift into something where he was really poking fun and having fun with making fun of Hollywood, which, Altman was never really a big part of. And although you could say he fit more in 70s Hollywood because 70s was more making movies that were kind of his type of movie. And then suddenly in the 80s, it wasn't. And I think this, everyone said that this was like his big Hollywood comeback and he's making fun of Hollywood. And I think everybody kind of liked what he was doing with it. And so I guess it works to that extent as far as the humor.
I guess, but I read this passage from him this morning that he said, the movie did well, made its money back, and he wondered if, as a result of its popular appeal, if he didn't get the satire right. It's a movie that's pretty dark and complete with a Hollywood ending, and he wonders if people actually understood what he was going for. What do you think the legacy of the satire is in the movie?
Well, yeah, and I think that's a very funny quote. I read that as well. You know, he was talking to Tim Robbins, and he said something to that extent, like, "Well, I guess we went too easy on them."
Yeah,
was kind of his approach. There's definitely satire, and it still rings true as far as the nature of producers, people's opinion of producers as just kind of these sleazy money men who make the deals, put everything together. But for them, it's really about the money, and it's less about the creative aspects of the story. And making the Tim Robbins character specifically someone who is like works with the writers, I think that's kind of funny. You know, it's just like he's the producer, but he's also just not really tapped into what actually is creative. It's all about what's going to sell. And that all holds true. Like, I think there very much is that aspect of Hollywood still to this day. And a lot of the way that people pitch, like everything was like, it's this mixed with that. Like all of that is perfect. But I think it's completely enjoyable. I really like what he's doing here. But I do feel like through today's eyes, I think you could take this and really amp it up quite a bit to make it even a stronger satire. You know, I think Hollywood almost, I don't know, sometimes it feels like it revels in this personality it has, you know?
Yeah, right. No, I think that's it. That I feel like this movie almost, now that we're so many years after, that it comes off as look at all we've accomplished rather than look what we hath wrought. That's my takeaway on watching it. It's sort of extraordinary. Not sort of. I mean, it is an extraordinary parade of stars. It's also effectively, like, you wouldn't have to cut much to actually play this film as an in memoriam segment in the Oscars, right? It's like so many faces of an era that have passed. Like, it's really interesting to see how this movie celebrates a generation of performances, or a couple of generations of performers.
Hey there, movie moguls. Andy here, and have I got a pitch that will make your head spin. This is our June member bonus episode, part of our electrifying 1993 Academy Awards Best Film Editing Nominees series. Our members voted on this, and now we're pulling back the curtain on this deliciously dark Hollywood satire, The Player. Listen up, because if you're not a member yet, you're missing out on a goldmine of exclusive content. Without membership, you're like a screenwriter without a pitch, stuck on the outside, looking in. But don't worry, because joining our studio is as simple as signing on the dotted line. As a member, you'll get access to monthly bonus episodes like this one, where we dissect the most captivating films in cinematic history. You'll also get early access to all our regular episodes, completely ad-free, in a special members-only feed. It's like having a backstage pass to the hottest movie discussions in town. But wait, there's more. Many episodes come with exclusive pre-show and post-show chats available only to our top-tier members. You'll be in on all the juicy gossip, as if you're right there in the executive's office. As a member, you'll also be part of our Discord community with access to special members-only channels, rub elbows with other film buffs in a virtual backlot designed just for you. But here's the real showstopper. You get to watch our live streams as we record shows and even comment while we're recording. Your comments will shape our post-show discussions, making you a key player in the production process. And the cherry on top, you get to vote on what films we discuss for our member bonus episodes. You'll be part of the Green Light Committee, deciding which movies get the star treatment. All of this is available not just for our show, but for all podcasts in the Next Reels family. The Film Board, Sitting in the Dark, Movies We Like, CinemaScope, and potentially more in the pipeline. It's like having an all-access pass to the most exclusive film festivals around. So what are you waiting for? Sign on the dotted line and join our studio. It's only $5 a month or $55 a year. We've got the inside scoop, and you won't want to miss it. Become a member today and let the movie magic unfold. And then stay tuned for the full episode, where we will be discussing at length Robert Altman's The Player in all its satirical glory. Remember, at the next reel, when the movie ends, our conversation begins.